So grateful for the daily efforts of this incredible group and all the teams that they represent in keeping our city safe and moving. And we're here to give a little bit of an update on one of the most exciting times of the year here in Boston. So thank you to Commissioner Michael Cox from the Boston Police Department, Commissioner Paul Burke from Boston Fire Department, Chief Jimmy Hooley from Boston EMS, Chief Ken Green from the MBTA Police, Dusty Rhodes, and let's see who am I John Borders from our Director of our Office of Special Events and Tourism, and I think I got everyone here. We're also joined by other members of our City Hall team across different departments, and I want to give a special shout out as well to Adrian Jordan, who is our Chief of Emergency Management. So we all know New Year's is upon us, and in Boston that also means another year of our very own special First Night celebration. For the second year in a row, First Night will be centered on City Hall Plaza, and we were delighted to host right nearby last year. This is an annual tradition that brings people together from all around the world, and especially here in our community. In Boston, we're working to make our city a home for everyone, and that means all of the housing and jobs and schools and parks, but also at its heart, making sure people have fun, family-friendly opportunities to be together in community. This year, we'll ring in the new year with a First Night celebration that will feature more than 12 hours of free programming on City Hall Plaza and all across Boston. From indoor performances, events on the main stage just outside, and ice sculptures celebrating the nation's semi-quincentennial. And Dusty Rhodes will share in a little bit about the amazing programming that she has been putting together and that we're proud to host. A word on safety. Ringing in the new year in community starts with keeping ourselves and one another safe. So to ensure everyone has a safe and joyful afternoon and evening, the Boston Police Department and all of our first responders will be working throughout our events. We all know that public safety begins with us, and that's why Boston is the safest major city in the country. So we want to remind everyone celebrating First Night with us that using, selling, or having fireworks is both illegal and dangerous, and not to drink alcohol or use other substances in public spaces or prohibited private spaces. And we'll hear more from Commissioner Cox and Commissioner Burke in a little bit about the ways in which their departments are preparing for First Night and what all of us can do to make this a joyous and safe celebration. Finally, transportation for First Night, a celebration that goes late into the night. It can be a concern. We want everyone to plan ahead. With all the programming that's happening downtown and throughout the city, we encourage everyone to use transit instead of driving. And we're so grateful that the MBTA will stop collecting fares starting at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So T service will be free starting at 8 p.m. tomorrow in order for everyone celebrating the holiday to get home safely without any extra concerns. So before I hand it over to Commissioner Cox, otra vez en español. Buenos días, estamos aquí para hablar un poco sobre el siguiente día festivo, Año Nuevo y la celebración de la primera noche de Boston. Por segundo año consecutivo, la primera noche será celebrada en la plaza de City Hall y la primera noche de este año contará con más de 12 horas de programación gratuita en la plaza de City Hall en todo Boston. Celebrar un nuevo año en comunidad empieza con mantenernos seguros a nosotros y a los demás. Para asegurar que todos tengan una noche segura y alegre, el Departamento de Policía de Boston estará trabajando durante estos eventos. Pero todos sabemos que el seguro público comienza con nosotros. Por eso es que Boston es la ciudad más segura en todo el país. Queremos recordarles a todos que celebrarán la primera noche con nosotros que usar, vender y tener fuegos artificiales es ilegal y peligroso, y que no beban alcohol ni utilizan otras sustancias en espacios públicos o espacios privados y prohibidos. Finalmente, transporte para la primera noche, una celebración que dura hasta muy tarde en la noche, puede ser una preocupación. Con toda la programación que está ocurriendo en el centro y en toda la ciudad, queremos animar a todos a usar el transporte público en lugar de conducir. Estamos todos muy agradecidos al MBTA por parar de cobrar tarifas a partir de las 8 de la tarde mañana para que todos los que celebren la festividad puedan regresar a casa seguramente. Okay, thank you, and I'll pass it over to Commissioner Cox.
Good morning. The Boston Police Department will once again be joining the Mayor's Office and our public and private sector security forces to make sure that this year's 2025 First Night goes off with much success and fanfare. We have a comprehensive safety plan in place that will support this family-friendly event for all participants, visitors, and spectators. The Boston Police will have officers in and around First Night areas and throughout all the city and neighborhoods that exist here in the city for the event. We ask people to remember, as the mayor just made mention, that this is a family-friendly event, so we ask no public consumption of alcohol and marijuana in public spaces. And we also ask you not to bring drones and or use drones in the area, particularly on the First Night festival events that exist. That is not allowed. We will have officers throughout all our districts throughout the city, and we ask people if they are hear of or see disruptive and loud parties, that if they see something, say something, and certainly call us and use 911 for those services as well. This is going to be a great event as always, and we are here to support the folks throughout the city, but we want to emphasize safety exists when we all work together. So if you see something, it's really, really important that you say something to our department members and or dialing 911 in general. That being said, we hope 2025 First Night is a wonderful event as always here in the city, and we hope everyone comes and enjoys themselves. Thank you. And next up is Chief Green. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Fire Commissioner Burke.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Good morning, everybody. With an event of this size, the Boston Fire Department will have extra staffing on duty. Because of the road closures and the crowd size, it's difficult to get fire trucks down the roads, so there'll be fire trucks stationed within the common and throughout the venues. Whenever there are fireworks displays in the city, such as the 2 on New Year's Eve, we have our fire prevention pyrotechnicians inspectors stationed with the fireworks vendors for the entire event. Every nightclub and bar has an occupancy number to prevent overcrowding. We will have extra nightclub inspectors on New Year's Eve doing checks as they do every night to make sure there is no overcrowding and that the public is safe. We'd like to remind everybody, as the mayor said, that fireworks are illegal in Massachusetts. Please leave the fireworks to the professionals. The Boston Fire Department, together with the Mayor's Office, the Office of Emergency Management, the Boston Police, EMS, and the MBTA Police, want everybody to have a safe, enjoyable celebration. So please, call 911 for any emergency, and enjoy the evening, and Happy New Year to everybody. And I'd like to introduce Chief Green from the MBTA Police.
Good morning. First and foremost, we want to encourage everyone to utilize the MBTA transportation system to come into the city of Boston to enjoy all the activities that the city has to offer. I want to remind everyone, as the mayor has already said, the First Night celebration is a family-oriented event, so we ask our riders to please act responsibly and be respectful to one another, to include being respectful to MBTA personnel. I also want to remind everyone that the consumption of alcohol and or unruly behavior will not be tolerated on the MBTA. We will have additional transit police officers, both uniformed and in plain clothes, assigned to this event to ensure that everybody has a safe and enjoyable travel on the MBTA transportation system. Currently, there are no known threats, credible or otherwise, that would suggest that the MBTA is a target. But as always, we will remain in close contact with our local, state, and federal law enforcement partners throughout the event. But if you should see something, or hear something, please don't hesitate to say something. Transit Police can be contacted at 617-222-1212, or you can simply speak to any public safety official or transportation official you see at the event to report anything suspicious. The main thing is to alert law enforcement so we can get personnel down there. Also, if you have a smartphone, please take a moment to download the free CSA app that the MBTA provides for its riders. This app will allow you to send messages and or photographs anonymously, if you choose, directly to Transit Police Operations. These messages go straight to a monitor, which is monitored 24/7. You might receive you will receive a reply, but you might be asked additional information. But we will send officers out to that location immediately. So take a moment to download that free app. One, it's free. Two, it helps make our system safer. Regarding service on New Year's Eve, all modes of transportation will run on a regular weekday schedule with an increase in subway services beginning at 3 p.m. Also with subway, it'll be extended by 1 hour, ending at around 2:30 a.m. As the mayor has already said, fares will be waived starting at 8 p.m. So the MBTA will be free starting 8 p.m. If there's any additional information that you may need regarding service on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, please access our website at mbta.com. Thank you. And Dusty Rhodes will be next. Dusty.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. 10 years we've been doing this. The festival's 49 years old, and it would not be possible, quite frankly, without the support of these people. We are in the events business. Events can be very expensive. If we didn't have this kind of support, there would not be an event on New Year's Eve. The event is free. It's for family. It's fun. It's a festival. It's first night. People often ask me, what do you like best about the event? And I said, the children. The baby carriages, because how many times do we find families coming in on the T celebrating fireworks at 7 o'clock in the evening, a parade of so many different cultures, and then as we transition into the evening, the crowd gets a little older or younger, as you will, and we have midnight fireworks. So again, this is a spectacular way to celebrate the multicultural part of Boston. It is the first night is a protected word that began here in Boston, and to this day, again, 49 years later, we're still leading the country. And again, Mayor, thank you for your support. Thank you.
Any questions?
I know Chief Green addressed this, but could someone from the city address whether there's any known credible threats to public safety?
No, we don't have any credible threats. Chief Green may mention to it, and if we were, we would certainly put out something the day of the event or at any time to let folks know what that threat would be. Okay.
Quick question. I may be mistaken, but the no drones being allowed there, is that something that's new given what we've seen just recently, or is that
No, I mean, drones have their own, restrictions in general across it. Even when you buy them, if people read the products, that you can't fly within certain zones, certainly near airports and certain areas in general. So it's more of an issue now because it seems like more people have them and they're using them inappropriately. So now we need to remind folks of this a lot more.
So, Commissioner, so drones, if they have an FAA authorization, they are able to fly them?
So not for this event, not in the city, not over any, city, permitted events. No, they cannot fly the drones over here. Okay.
So, if they do have authorization, though, or the police is going to have no flights with the FAA?
So typically the police and the FAA work together around that, around the no-fly zone, and we are so close to the airport, it really covers a good portion of our area in general. But the fact is we encourage and telling people do not bring your drones over any activities around the first night event. Okay, does that simplify it? Thank you.
Sir Laura, what is the largest concern surrounding safety that you first night?
So it's, we have these so we don't have concerns around safety. It's just really information, making sure people understand that, there are public safeties out here, EMS are out here, that there's support if something happens, if someone gets sick or anything like that. That's what we're here for, to make sure people are informed. And, people respond correctly when you give them good instructions. And so we're here to let them know, come in, act responsibly, behave responsibly during first night. It's the festive time, but this is a time for families and kids and to enjoy the first night, and don't violate any rules or regulations, because the law enforcement are here to hold you accountable if you do. That's the main thing that we're really concerned. We're not overly concerned about a threat or anything of that nature. Okay.
Besides alcohol or fireworks, is there anything else people shouldn't bring that bag policies?
Firearms, certainly. Firearms, knives, weapons. This is a family-friendly event. Why would you want to bring anything that would, hurt or harm anyone? And, certainly, I don't know, Chief Hooley could speak to all the medical concerns around some of the things around these large nature events, around, people drinking and things of that nature. That's just usually not good in wintertime or summertime in general. But, yeah, that's what I would say.
I was just going to ask Chief Hooley if he would come up and, sorry to put you on the spot, share a little bit about what the infrastructure is like on the ground and what people should do if they see someone who might need medical help.
Of course. Thank you, Mayor. Happy New Year, everybody. Just real quickly, similar to police and what Fire Commissioner laid out, obviously for the downtown, for the organized events, for the parade, for the gathering on the Common, the fireworks, and down on City Hall Plaza here, we'll have units detailed down around here. We'll have additional ambulances on, but we'll also have EMTs on and paramedics on bicycles, on these little John Deere Gators, different ways to get in and out of crowds and to move people around, extract them if need be. Minor complaints we'll be able to address with some medical staff all over on the scene, so you can just come up and approach us if you have any kind of medical problems. You see somebody who looks like they've overindulged or they're laid out, even if the weather's not brutally cold. And when it's wet and it's cold and stuff, people can really succumb to hypothermia or the effects of it. So it's typically similar to the police. Chief Green, see something, say something. If you're concerned, call 911. And just in the last bit, we know it's first night all across the city, right? East Boston, Hyde Park, everywhere, not just downtown. So just a couple of different things. One is be a good host if you're having a party. Know when to shut somebody off, because sometimes just alcohol, vehicles, and pedestrians, those are the things we really worry about on nights like that. You also if you're out with your friends, be a good friend, be a good wingman, wingwoman, whatever it is. If you don't let your buddy go off on their own, or if it looks like they maybe get in a little bit of trouble, stay with them, get them back home someplace safe. A lot of that will just avoid a lot of unnecessary trips to a hospital. And one last thing, a few things in the news lately on CO, a couple of people, some tragedies there. There's a lot of good information on the city and the fire department about having CO detectors, but obviously when you get a change in mental status, especially if it's a couple of people at a time in a dwelling, if you don't have detectors, call 911. Fire can do a quick survey of the area, and we can take care of anybody. Thank you.
Mayor, any indication of how much first night costs the city?
Do we have a number? We can follow up with that. I don't know off the top of my head. Anyone else? So I'll just close with a word of thanks to the entire arts and culture community in Boston. First Night, as you heard from Dusty, is really a nation-leading effort, and it started and has remained centered on highlighting the incredible creativity of our community. The parade at 6 p.m. has the costumes and the masks and brings everyone together, the ice sculptures throughout the city. So that has always been at its core, and it wouldn't be possible without the artists continuing year after year, now for almost 50 years, to make sure that Boston is highlighted in this way. So thank you, everyone, and Happy New Year's.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing.
Oh, thanks, Cecily. Thanks for everything. Yeah. Almost there.
Yeah, no, good luck. Wish you the best.
Thank you.
Darcy, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Always a
Thank you.
pleasure. Next year.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you, sir. Look forward to working.
I will see you out there.
How's it going?
Like a lot.
Yeah.